Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Big J in the building. Uncle Football, the homie. We ready for this. Y'all ready for this, man? Welcome to another episode of Unk and Fuel.
Yeah,
Early
man.
morning. Or maybe just not just early, just morning. Unk, how you feeling
That's
this
it.
morning, man? As we have a little coffee or tea to wake up the people them, you know what I mean?
Yes, man. Yes, man. And
Mm-hmm.
remember, right? We got NFL football actually starting right now as we speak. As we go live, so too is the NFL. All
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
yeah. So, I mean, like football's underway. All the pregame shows are on. We're competing with the big boys. We're in that pocket, yo. So here we
Yes,
go.
sir. We boxing with the big boys because we are some big boys. Come on now.
Right?
You know what I mean? Shout out to our people who come out here and support every Sunday morning by liking the stream, by getting in the
Big
chat,
time.
by
Yeah,
engaging.
man.
I think our last stream was getting some good views, some good traction. So I'm
Yeah.
happy to see that we're getting some consistency out here in these streets. How you feel about that, Uncle?
I love it, man.
Ready?
I love it. Well, and like I
Mm-hmm.
always said, man, it's like if somebody told me that all these people would be gathered in one place and to hear us talk, man, it's not like I wouldn't show up. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So I love the people then. I love them coming in the chat. I love them
Yes,
giving
sir.
us that like and subscribe. I'm telling you, it's what makes the channel go. And yeah, I mean, it's the best way to engage with us here.
Appreciate that, man. By the way, we got the Broncos versus the Jets. We might have to pencil this. By the way, this is in London for the people who are watching right
Yeah.
now. I think the Jets are going 0-6, man. These Broncos are hitting a new level. Any quick takes about this game, brother? You know what
Well,
I mean?
I voiced a couple weeks ago that I kind of
Yeah.
like this Jets team. Just that I like Justin Fields, but man, oh man, they
Mm,
just cannot seem to get it done when it comes to the win column. All of a sudden, they're playing like really atrocious defense when we thought they would not. So I imagine that
right.
streak continues. I imagine that the Jets are going to cover the 7.5 or 6.5 points. Though this is what they've been. They haven't been uncompetitive, right? But it's
Right.
deceptive, though. It's deceptive with the Jet because they get a lot of their points in garbage time. I saw a
Yes.
statistic on their defense. It's called like EPA, whatever, expected points on average per play or whatever it is. So with each play, like the number of points given up or something like that is like 0.206. It's twice the rate. It's twice the rate of like even the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
All the people you'd expect to have terrible offenses. But what that statistic really shows you is
Mm,
that the Jets are getting their butts kicked in game up to the third
yes.
quarter. Up to the
Hmm.
third quarter, they're giving up a lot of points, and then teams take their foot off the accelerator. So it's deceptive. But the Jets are historically bad on defense, and all of a sudden their offensive line is difficult. They're giving up a lot of sacks.
Yeah, man. And it's sad to see because they have the pieces. When I say the pieces, Brees Hall, great running back. Justin Fields, yes, he's on and off. But when you see him in garbage time, dude is throwing dimes. And of course, he has the crazy run ability. Garrett Wilson, he's getting you a lot of fantasy points. He's balling out of control. Even that new rookie tight end, I think so. I think it might be
Taylor.
yeah, Taylor. Yeah, Mason or
I
something,
think it's
something like
Jason
that.
Taylor's nephew or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be his son, but he's
So
great. He's fantastic. If
so
you want to
so does
pick him
that
on waiver wire, it's
does
crazy.
that
So they
make
have the
him
pieces.
does
Yeah.
that make him Joy Taylor's like son or
Yeah, there's a weird relation, man. Joy Taylor. And that's really a story we can get into another time. But bruh, yeah,
yeah,
man.
on another
They have
channel.
on another channel. I don't know what's going on with Aaron Glenn and these Jets, but they are not looking good.
It's
And
it
the
is
irony,
frustrating to It's
go ahead.
frustrating to see. It's frustrating to see just because
Right.
they look so good. They look so exciting opening week against the Steelers.
Yeah.
And they just haven't lived up to any of that.
Not at all. And guess what? The last Jets quarterback to do anything
Of
is
note,
they're
anything of
always in the
note.
news. Think about it. This guy took the Jets to a AFC championship game and almost to the Super Bowl
Yeah,
in his
yeah,
rookie season, bro. What the hell?
yeah.
Unc, what do you think about the latest updates of this weirdo, man? He's a weirdo. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we
And
did this pretty well. We were ahead of the curve on a lot of this last Sunday.
yeah, we were, bro.
um,
Yeah,
yeah, because we were unafraid to say, what's going on. But yeah, when I find out
yeah,
that, like, yeah, he was actually doing like wind sprints in the alley at 12:30, right? And then he was beefing with, because this guy's just doing his job, collecting those
right,
grease bins, so he has to be
right,
parked there. And you're telling
right,
me that you can't see that. Instead, you're gonna like vex with the guy. So like it's bad in so many ways, right? Um, the
right.
fact that the fact that pepper spray didn't slow the guy down, um, the fact
Yeah,
the fact that he got stabbed up the way he did because he wouldn't relent, like all of these things suggest that there's some real personal problems with Mr. Stabchez. um,
Snapchat.
and
Yeah,
so yeah, like there's and so I'm expecting a very very sort of public Kobe Bryant type rehab stint, or they
yeah.
might just cut him. They just might just cut him and say we're done with you. But I have a feeling that
Mm,
given his national stature and the things he's accomplished, and I'm pretty sure he'll get privileged in this, and I think he'll have a very public rehab stint, and he's going to have to
mm,
make. He's going to have to like he looks bad for what he did to a man half his age. So he's going to have to,
right.
he's going to need, like, when I say rehab stint, it's more than just him going there and taking a pledge
Mm,
and doing the 12 steps. Like his image is going to have to be rehabilitated because right now he looks like an intemperate thug with
yeah.
addiction problems of one kind. And they don't look to be exclusively alcohol either, right? Like, pepper
Yeah,
spray,
I remember.
pepper,
I,
pepper spray
I,
didn't slow this guy down,
yeah.
man. Like, shit.
I remember you sent me the text about it, and I'm like, "Yo, this sounds like drugs, bro." Like, I'm just thinking that's it. And then you kind of mentioned like some kind of drug deal. I'm like, this kind of adds up because, bruh, you're doing wind sprints downtown Indianapolis at 12 a.m. You have work the next day. Like, you're 38 years old. You're not 28. You're not
Yeah.
25. You're 38 years old, bro. Man with kids. You're a retired NFL player
Right.
trying to beat up a 69, a damn near 70-year-old senior citizen.
69 years
Bro,
old.
he's
Yeah.
getting fired. He's getting fired. But
It-
you're absolutely right about the rehab situation. Bro needs to do some kind of like
yeah. Oh,
public
yeah. No.
showing because he's
Very.
always been a clean cut guy, despite him being a very mid to trash or like mid quarterback. He's always been like the guy who goes on the podium, says what has to be said, clean cut, like
Yes.
USC guy. He's never been like this is the first
Exactly.
controversy in his whole career. So he
Incredibly out
has
of
a chance to
character.
come back. You know what I mean? Yeah. He has a chance to
But
come back. Yeah, go
but
ahead. Mhm.
we all know that about addiction, right? Sometimes it's the least people that you
Uh,
expect. They do a very good job of covering it up. Like Sanchez has been a pro athlete for a
yeah,
long time, so he understands media and all these types of things. And if
yes,
it's
sir.
a recent behavior, right, man, too much money, too much time in his hand. I don't be personal problems. I don't know, right? We don't know any of this because he's done a very good job in managing his public image. And we've never
Mhm.
seen anything that he's always been a very, like I said last week, a very affable guy, right? Like
Yeah,
he could deal with the butt fumble on television. Like he's been in media. He does banter. Like it
real
suggests
talk.
a certain social ability that many people don't have, right? But
Mhm.
especially it's the wind sprints that really get at me, right? Because I
It
know
is.
with these type A sports personalities, when you combine sometimes like maybe he doesn't handle his drugs and booze that well, right? Like,
This is a
and
good point. Yeah.
he's feeling all this energy and he's doing the only thing he knows how to do, right? Is like just
Just
something
go out
athletic,
there.
right? Yeah,
In a
right.
parking lot, bro. I'm just saying, if you are in New York, your quarterback should be like Jackson Dart. Let's not have a Mark Sanchez. Let's have a Jackson Dart type quarterback
Yeah.
who goes and whoops on the Eagles. And yes, they whooped on the Eagles. If y'all are paying attention, I called this the Jackson Skatt on the entire Eagles. And yes, when I say scat, I'm referring to
Yeah.
hooping SHIT.
Yeah.
Yes, they did 34-17. I don't even think Giants fans expected the score. I'm just keeping it real. I don't think anybody who really watches football expected to score. It's almost like
No.
that Oregon and Indiana game yesterday. Nobody expected Oregon to lose, but they did. Here's the crazy part.
Yeah.
I kind of saw something coming from the Giants, especially that black backfield. I was like, they got something going, Unc. Unc, what were your first thoughts about it, bro? Let me know.
Well, we've all been fans of Scatteroo since last fall when we saw him.
Mm-hmm.
We saw his final college season rounding out, and he had all those great numbers in games. We said, "Wow, that guy looks, like he'll be a great
Yeah,
pro, right?" Assuming that he's not too small and goes to the right team. Blah 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 blah.
correct,
And he, and with the Giants, right? He quickly put Tyrone Tracy to the side, and
correct.
it's been his backfield, and he's handled it like a pro, right? And so that's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fun. And then you throw the Jackson Dart thing in there as well. Now, the
Mm,
thing that's less talked about is the Giants' defense, which was the real
right.
story of Philly's undoing.
Mm,
Philly was coming back. Philly was rallying, but there
yeah,
was a critical interception on the 1 yard line that was run back for yet another pick six. Right, 99
yes.
yards the guy went. Right, it was a whole train. And so,
Right.
anyways, like this was remarkable. And so to see this type of productivity coming out of the Giants is really quite surprising.
Right.
Now, we're not really surprised about Scatteroo. We've seen lots of rookie running backs come into the league and blow up. Right, it's all very cool.
Mm,
But he's doing it like 3 touchdowns. That's dominant.
that's a
So
lot. Yeah.
and the other thing that we're seeing, as I said, is it's a defense, but we've been talking about Philly, like not figuring out their game plans.
Yes.
On the
Yes.
one hand, we gave them praise for being able to switch it up in week 2 when they had to change the game plan. It wasn't working, but now it
Mm.
just looks kind of like a mess.
Oh,
And Saquon is not being efficient as a runner at
no.
all.
It's not.
Hurts is having to run too much. And that interception, by the way, was his first interception in 304 attempts. Right.
Wow.
So
Right.
yeah. Hurts does not throw a lot of interceptions. So
Right.
it just kind of shows you the bad juju that was running through that game for Philly.
Mm,
But we've been questioning Philly on this about just, how beat up is Saquon Barkley? You know,
correct.
how um how in control of their passing game. I mean, I hate to put it like that, but that sounds like it. Like, are they dictating when they want to pass, or is the game
Mm,
dictating it? Because they're so run first in their thoughts, and is that really the best way that they should go about it? And we all saw that come undone
you
against the
know,
Giants, and I did
you know,
not expect them. I had them as comfortable, like six and a
yeah.
half point cover Philly, and they didn't. Oh Jesus! Like, it wasn't even really that competitive. They came
No.
out and led 3-0 with a field goal in the first quarter, but then it was all Eagles
Okay.
after that. It was all like
Y-
Philly, a
Yeah.
vaunted defense in this league, allowed the Giants to get up, but I think it was 27-17 at one point, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it was a blowout. It's pretty much done by the fourth quarter, in all honesty. The Eagles were kind of coming back, but for me, I looked it up, and a lot of Eagles fans, at least from what I saw, they don't like this offensive coordinator, Kevin Cotullo, and they say
mm,
that his calls are very predictable.
yeah.
Well, obviously, because they had to do 4 tush pushes in a row when they were in the red zone. And here's the thing about the tush push. For me, I'm not one of those people who's against it, who wants to ban it. But
Right.
once seeing it on national TV being done 4 times in a row did make me upset because the
Yeah.
false starts, brother. The false starts that were being done. So a lot of the Eagles or offensive linemen, they'll jump before the ball is snapped. And it's become so common that the refs are ignoring it. And that's the
Hmm.
issue. That's where it
That
becomes a
that is a
competitive
compromise in the
disadvantage.
game.
Yeah, it's making a bad look on the game. And to a certain point, they kind of got their karma in a sense, the Eagles, because
Mhm.
once once another team gets a lead, right, the Eagles have to be a pass offense. And I have a theory. I didn't even necessarily come up with this theory, but I have a thought that because they do so much of the tush push and they run the ball so often, it actually has ruined Jalen Hurts as a passer. He's less confident in the pocket. He's less willing to throw. And when he does throw, he doesn't have that same connection he used to have with AJ Brown and Smith last season. It just does not look smooth. It doesn't look right. But you look on the other side, Jackson Dart and Scatterboo clearly have some kind of connection. And
Yeah.
even this other receiver on the Giants team, Wendell Robinson, had a crazy game. And the other receivers on the team actually played really, really well without their best player, Malik
Yeah.
Neighbor. So it's like almost like the Eagles' pass offense came alive. You feel what sorry, the Giants'
Yeah.
pass offense came alive. And it's like,
Yeah.
damn, that's how good the run game can set up
Yeah.
the pass game. That's what I'm saying there.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, and also too Jackson Dart's ability to scramble. Like the guy had, I think, 58 or
Yes, sir.
59 yards of running at a good rate of I, I forget the yards per carry, but it was significant. Yeah, no, I got it right here. He was 13 for 58, one touchdown, and 4.5 yards
Yeah.
per carry. That's a second running back, right?
That's
So
yes, that's really good for
like
sure.
if
Yeah.
if you had him in your fantasy league, like he would have been like viable as an RB3 or something like that, right? Because he
Yeah,
got the
that's true.
touchdown. Because he got the touchdown, right? So, but you're
Yeah.
right that ability, and in fact, on I think he had one run, like a 20-yard touchdown or something. But I think it was a
Yeah.
design. It was a design play because he took off in less than 3 seconds, 2.6 seconds. So
Mm,
like it was like a draw play where he just boom, he just took off, run play option. He decided it was going to be run right away. But that's a very quick
right.
reaction time. That would be if he'd
Right.
got the ball out of his hand on a pass, that would be considered a really quick reaction time. So for
Right.
him to just like take off in less than 3 seconds and get the touchdown, it's very decisive playmaking, and very efficient and
Mm,
very effective. So that's yeah,
yeah.
that's the big takeaway from that game is that there's a confidence. Maybe it's a fearlessness that comes from playing the rookies. I don't know,
That's true.
but
That's a good point. That's a good point you made. Said about the fearlessness because when they
they
put
don't
Russell Wilson in there,
they don't know what
he looked
they don't know
yeah.
what to be afraid of. They don't know what they don't
Now
know, and that sometimes that's a good thing.
now here's the other side. Here's the flip side of this Giants conversation we're having. Last week they lost to the Saints. Yes, the winless Saints beat them.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm not playing. They beat them 26-14 by a very good game by Spencer Rattler. Quiet as kept. He's having a great season, but that Saints defense is horrible. So I'm saying the Giants can get caught up. Let's not
yeah,
pretend like they are, they already arrived. But I'm telling you, if Brian Daboll can get this Giants team to even 7 wins, I'm not playing. He keeps his job. Seven,
yeah.
8 wins, he keeps his job. So, hey, I'm not saying they're
Because
going to the playoffs, but 7, 8 wins, yeah, he keeps his job.
Because remember,
You know,
this is
yeah,
the second time in 3 weeks where the Giants have surprised us, where teams we thought were going to come
yes,
in and really make
right,
them look like the Giants, both the Chargers and Philly, and they
right.
overperformed. And yeah, New Orleans comes to town and they play down to their level, right? Like it
Exactly.
looked exactly like a game between the New Orleans Saints and New York Giants that you were expecting to see, right?
Straight up. And then you think about it like this. You could argue the Eagles should be 3-3, man, because that Rams game, that was a miracle. You know what I
Yes,
mean? See,
yeah,
and even the Cowboys game, the Cowboys almost got him. So the Eagles are on fraud alert. The
yeah.
Giants are on the rise, and we're
Well,
gonna get on another. Go ahead.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, I think one of the other big takeaways from that game, when we're finished talking, oohing and awing over the rookies and whatnot, and the emergence of Wandale Robinson, who we should be reminded has been like fair to middling and looked like pedestrian for 3 years.
Oh,
You see
tell
what
me
I'm saying?
about it.
So, like, are we
Mhm.
asking what's going on in New York that they're so good? Or are we asking what's going on in Philly that this defense that's supposed to be more locked down their
Yes.
defense should have won that game for them, but did not?
It's two things are true at the same time. We talked about the Giants defense, which is looking absolutely dominant, especially that
Yeah,
front seven, the linebackers and the D line. And then you look on the other side, the Eagles, absolutely not dominant at all. But we got to talk
should
about
be.
a defense, right? That is absolutely fantastic. And I think they're going to take these guys really far. Talking about your team, the Jags, your unofficial second team, Uncle. This is your
Yeah,
unofficial
it is.
second team, the
It's my
damn
Florida love,
Jack,
right?
yo, F
Duval
Florida man
County, man.
love.
That's my
You
from my
feel me?
Florida days. That's right. And
Let's
again,
get
it
it.
has to do with the fan bases and whatnot, right? Ever since '95, I always kind of thought they were a scrappy team right out of the gate, right? Like
Yes,
they
sir.
didn't play around, and yeah. So when I moved to Florida, I was like, well, I sure am. I'm not going to be cheering for the Dolphins, and don't really care for the Bucks that much. Although it was fun to cheer for the Bucks in the early 2000s. Mike Allstott was
Yeah.
had my heart.
Shout out to
Right,
that. What do
but
you think of this game, my man?
oh,
Yo.
dude. Well, it wasn't the game anybody was expecting now, was it? Except the people who've
Mhm.
been paying attention, who've been watching Duval County, right?
Yes,
Because,
sir.
again, quiet as it's kept, their defense has been functional, but so is their run game. Liam
Yeah.
Cohen's offense has been functioning, even though Trevor Lawrence has not been quite, what some people think he can be. He has been
Mm.
pretty good. He out Mahomes.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and
Yes.
that game was particularly tragic comic, whatever you want to call it, that final play where he
Yeah.
stumbles, like the right tackle steps on his foot,
Hmm.
and he falls to the ground, and his first instinct is just to grab the ball and throw it out of bounds, but for a microsecond he sees a lane and just reacts and goes. And so,
Right.
like, way to go Trevor Lawrence, right? And
Hmm.
but my goodness, for a second it looked like it was all going to fall apart. um,
Hmm.
but my goodness, but look at who they beat, man. And it's not the first time that they've
Yes.
beaten. They went on the road and beat the 49ers. So
Right.
Jacksonville are not beating just slouches. That
No.
4-1 record, their ability to cover the spread, like, it's all looking pretty good for now. Is it going to stay this way? I'm not sure, but
Right.
my trust is in Liam Cohen's system. Like, he proved it the last couple of years in Tampa Bay. And so this is kind of the result I was expecting. Maybe not so soon, but we
Mm.
have to consider this victory to be very impressive.
Oh,
That
yes. Oh, yes.
nobody was expecting that, I'm sure. I had the Jags in my picks. It was one of the few that worked out for me last week.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, trust me, it wasn't a good week. But Liam Cohen's Jaguars seem to have an offense that's working better than the previous regime. Right? We've been very
Oh, yeah.
frustrated with the Jags by underperforming consistently. Is it the curse of the AFC South? People start to
Mhm.
wonder, right? But
Right.
now it's looking to me like, my goodness, the AFC South has two 4-1 teams. I mean, it's the usual
Yeah.
logjam, but this time it's with competence rather than mediocrity, right?
Yeah.
You've
Yes.
got possibly the best team in the NFL right now, Indianapolis, and the
Mhm.
Jags, right? Both at
Yeah.
4-1, and both, like, again, like, beating good teams in the process. So yeah, I am very
Yeah.
encouraged by them.
I'm telling you, man. We gotta really highlight the defense, man. The
Yes,
way they were playing against Mahomes, they were really in coverage. Travis Kelsey didn't really do nothing. Terrence Thornton, the receiver, didn't do much. Everybody was log jammed. I think Mahomes again was their best running back
that's
because
right.
Mahomes is always their best running back
I was
because
about
Kareem
to
Hunt.
say. You know
Every
how you
single he's their
you
best
know
rusher.
when you know
Hey,
when their passing game isn't working, and we've seen it all season. We've documented it all
yeah,
season. We've documented their injuries and whatnot. But the
mhm.
fact that Mahomes has to revert to being their best runner, right?
He's their
66
best runner.
yards or whatever it is. The guy's running at 6 yards a clip. He's got the most
Right.
volume. He's got the most yards. That should not be
Yes,
happening. That should not be
at
happening.
all,
Yeah.
at all. And that I think what they're doing now, I think that especially what they did with Lamar, especially Detroit. I've noticed that they're always having a linebacker who's fake doing a fake rush and is a spy.
Yep.
especially for a scrambling
Yeah.
quarterback, and it's working to perfection to the point where Mahomes got a pick six on him. When's the last time we saw Mahomes throw a pick six? Well, the Jags, they have a player, I forget his name, I'm going to search it up a bit
I've got
later,
it right
who
here.
is leading the league in
Devin
interceptions. He's a
Lloyd.
linebacker. There you
Devin
Yes,
Lloyd.
Devin Lloyd leading the league in interceptions. That's how dominant this
Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars defense is. Because guess what? Trevor Lawrence doesn't. All Trevor Lawrence has to do is not cause a turnover, and they're gonna win. Or turnovers,
Bingo.
plural. They're gonna win. That's it. They
Bingo.
don't need him to do, and they don't even need him to score really, because you can put Travis Etienne there, right?
Yep.
So that winning football formula, and think about it. The AFC South. I'm not playing it. Them and the NFC West are the two best divisions. Who would have thought? Who would have
Right.
guessed preseason?
Right.
Nobody. Not one soul.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
the black and blue division up there in the AFC North isn't nearly as competitive as we imagined it would be.
Straight up. Who would have thought?
It's certainly up with historical standards, and even the
Yeah.
AFC West, which we say is a bananas division, super competitive. Like it hasn't really been because the Chiefs are doing their part, and also the
Yeah.
Chargers aren't as dominant as we thought they might be. And now they've just lost Omari and Hampton, their running back. So it's like
Oh, they lost to
it's
Marion Hampton too? Oh
he's on
shit.
injury reserve, kids. So adjust your
Oh
fantasy lineups
wow.
accordingly if you haven't done so already.
Wow.
I
They're in a
know,
two-game
right?
skid. They're on a two-game skid too. They're two-game losing streak, brother.
This is what I'm saying, right? So yeah,
Jeez.
we don't have we don't have that villain at the top of the division in the form of the Chiefs, and we
No.
don't really have a whole bunch of challenges right now. It looks like Denver is the best team in the division.
Denver's they're on the rise. You're correct. You're correct
Right.
about that. Yeah.
So we're not getting that crazy type of division out there. So yeah, it turns out like the AFC South is actually a very competitive division this year, and I'm pretty sure
Oh.
we haven't heard the last of the Texans in it either, right? So
Oh man, don't we're gonna talk about that, Uncle. Oh
yeah,
my God. I will
yeah,
say this though. Before you get me all depressed, let me get some kind of happiness and joy before we talk about the disaster that is my Baltimore Ravens. I had to put the hat on backwards, man. I can't even rep my squad no more. I had to go backwards. But you know what's going backwards? It's the Bengals. They're going all the way back to the senior citizen known as Joe Flacco. Yes, the Bengals were done with Jake Browning. Ironically, after what I would argue was Jake Browning's best game, he threw 3 touchdowns, but I think he
yeah,
threw like 3 picks as well. So they were like, Kevin Stefanski, no, sorry, Zach Taylor, my bad. He said, "Yeah, I'm done with this nonsense. Let's get a real vet." But guess what? This vet, unfortunately, he has 6 picks over the season and only 2 touchdowns. So the Bengals, as much as they want to progress and do something, they are might even be going backwards. Ironically, yes, the Bengals, the team that a lot of people were penciling in to go really far in the playoffs, or at least this season. They are now on quarterback number 3. We are going into week 6. Crazy after they got straight up disrespect 37-24. Unc, what are your thoughts about, I mean, the new look Bengals? Is that what we calling them now? Unc, talk to me, bro. You know what I mean?
we first and foremost, we've all seen this movie before, and it'll probably work
Yeah.
for a couple weeks, right?
Mhm.
Where Flacco will come in and probably immediately raise the fantasy value of the Cincinnati players that have been so ailing, right? And it
Right.
might work. It might work for a month, but you're right. Like we're getting rid of Browning because yeah, there's 3 picks, but we're replacing him with whom? With Flacco,
Right.
right? You might get just as many. But I think there's a certain confidence level that they're expecting with Flacco from the
Right.
vet, right? He's been Mr. Band-Aid in a lot of places where they need the quarterback position stabilized. And I think
Right.
that's the operative word that we're looking for is that Cincinnati is looking to stabilize its QB situation. And it
Mm,
should be fascinating today, man. It should be real fascinating today going up against Green Bay.
yes, it should because this is a crazy stat. If he beats Green Bay, which I'm gonna say it's in play because Green Bay is not the team we thought it
Right?
was. He'll be the first quarterback to beat the same team twice in a season. Is that what it is, or like in a regular season? Is that the stat? Right?
Could be, because right. So he already beat them once this year.
Yes, he beat them with the Cleveland Browns. Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That horrific loss. Oh, that's right.
Yes. The field goal game. So he'd beat
I was
them
about to
maybe
say I
two
don't
weeks
remember
later.
any. I was
Yeah.
about to say I don't remember any fireworks from Flacco in that game, but now I remember why. That's right. It was all defense.
And that's the crazy thing. The Bengals do not have a defense like that. And that's what worries me because it's like, bruh, you are going to a team with a worse defense, an
Yeah.
incredible offense, a horrible O line. So what is going to be what's gonna happen? I do not.
He's just gonna chuck it to Jamar Chase.
That's it.
Just gonna chuck it in Jamar Chase and just woo, just go, buddy. And who knows?
Just
Maybe
go.
he doesn't have enough time to get to Jamar Chase. Maybe he has to seek him in intermediate routes. But yeah, I'm pretty
Oh
sure
boy.
either that or let's see now who's the tight end there in Cincinnati? What is it, Gesicki?
Oh,
Right?
Gesicki. Yep, it's Gesicki.
Like
Yep,
he's
yep,
just.
yep.
I'm pretty sure Flacco is going to be looking to get rid of that ball in less than 3 seconds to some just big wide body. That's it,
Right.
right? Just
Hey,
immediately. But or who knows? Maybe he brings Chase Brown alive by just pitching off to him immediately in the run pass option. I don't know exactly how it's going to go, but I
right.
assume it's going to be better than it was with Jake Browning. That there has to be
Yeah.
something you would assume there has to be something that Cincinnati sees that they really just didn't trust in Browning that they do trust in Flacco. So
I,
we
I
shall
want to say
see.
something crazy about the Cleveland Browns that I learned. It's crazy stat. They're paying like 8 quarterbacks in this season. So let's start off the list. We got Deshaun Watson, right? We got Joe Flacco, right? We got Dylan Gabriels, Shador Sanders, Kenny Pickett. Remember, it was on the practice squad or like at least the
Yeah,
preseason, right?
that's right.
They are paying Bailey Zappi. He came in recently. They're playing Dorian Finney-Smith, I believe, because he was there last season. And I think there's another quarterback I'm forgetting that they're paying on the books. That is 8 quarterbacks the Cleveland Browns have to sign a check to. What?
And not one of them is any
Yeah,
good.
not one of them is any good or even healthy. What
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, what is
But
this is
hey,
mismanagement to the highest order, bro. Yeah.
did you hear what they're calling Dylan Gabriel?
What they calling them, man?
Hawaii 5'9".
Oh my God, Hawaii, hilarious.
He's so short.
Hawaii 5'9". Yo, there was this crazy picture of Dylan Gabriel's next to Carson Wentz. Okay, he looks like Doug Flutie, bro.
I
And for
saw
me,
that.
I'm like, dog, really? This is because like Carson Wentz is pretty tall, but bro, it
Six
looked crazy.
four.
Let me show this. What?
He's
Look like
six
he's talking to his
four.
kid. Yeah, it's like he's talking
Six
to his child.
four. I know, right?
Crazy, bro.
Dylan
Oh
Gabriel, man.
man,
Well,
what a mess. What a mess, bro. But you
that
know
is
what? Let me tell you something. It's not as bad as a mess as my pathetic Ravens, man. Oh, the pain. The
yeah,
pain.
I'll bet.
I, now I feel how the Giants fans and I feel like a Giants fan, like a Jets fan. Actually, not a Giants fan. Giants are on the up. They have a better record.
Dude. When when
um,
when
oh,
when things
God.
fall apart, right? When
Oh,
things fall apart, it's sometimes they fall apart real fast. We were hinting at
right.
it earlier, talking about like
We
the
did.
Harbaugh stank seemed to be, spreading out there like a fog, right? And look at this, just immediately, just going just straight south.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I don't know I don't know what to say. This particular game too, right? Like the thing you have to remember.
Mm,
You remember last Christmas Day, right, when Baltimore went down to Houston and just embarrassed Houston on national
Mac,
television on Christmas Day. like just about shut them out, beat them like 33-2 or something like that.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
pretty sure that D'Amico Ryans and them, when they came up to Baltimore, had that in the forefront of their mind that they were gonna,
Yes,
if they
revenge.
could get it going, that they were gonna give some payback, right? So that's kind of what we saw.
Well, the truth of the matter is, if your defense is having a bad, I mean, sorry, your offense is having a bad run, just play the Ravens defense. The Chiefs did it; they looked amazing. The Texans did it; they looked absolute. If you have a fantasy team and you are playing against the Ravens, everybody's a starter. Nick Chubb went off. You know what I mean? CJ Stroud had 244 passing yards for 4 touchdowns. He looked like rookie CJ Stroud. Christian Kirk got some yards. Everybody was eating. And you know what? Our backup, Cooper Rush, kept on feeding their defense. So the Texans defense had a day. Three
I was
picks,
gonna
getting
say
sacked everywhere. I was like, what are we doing? What
Texas.
are we doing?
I'll bet you any money I'll bet you any money that the Texas defense and special team was probably the top fantasy scorer on that Houston squad because the rest of the offense was pretty spread out for the most part. In fact, and Woody Marks, who everybody,
Mm,
especially some, thought was going to have a blow up game based on the week he had before, was suddenly
right.
irrelevant. And like
Wow. Yeah.
fantasy is such a cruel game sometimes. And all of a sudden, Nick Chubb looks like Nick Chubb from 5 years ago, getting I think it was 2 touchdowns and boy, that one run where he just outran everybody to the house. I was just like, where's
Everyone.
this guy? Where's this guy been? Right? Did he have to play Baltimore to look like this? Right? And that might
Right.
be
Telling you
right.
right now, man, as a Ravens fan, of course you could try to blame injuries, but it's a lack of effort on just the defensive front. The guys out there, they're not playing
Yeah.
with that kind of result because guess what? You don't have Lamar out there to score all these points for you, man. You know what I
I
mean? It's almost like Lamar was a band-aid on a really bad system, especially
yeah.
defensively.
Well,
So if your MVP quarterback is not there to score these points for you, what are you gonna do? You feel me?
Well,
Yeah,
it's funny as we went like week one, week two, week three,
right.
we kept saying, well, you can't blame this one on Lamar. You can't blame this one on Lamar. And that's true. And then Lamar gets injured and now he's
Right,
absolutely out of the equation completely. But
right.
we noticed last week with the we talked about it last week when we talked about the point spread. How much is Lamar worth specifically? We guessed we saw it in the point spread swing up. I think it was 9 points or 10 points. Like
Yes,
that's
yes,
just
swung heavy.
immediately what that guy means to that team. It means 10 more points than you could ordinarily expect. But the defense is the
Mhm.
letdown. The O line isn't helping, but the defense is especially the letdown. They can't seem to stop anybody pass or run. It's like a real turnstile up there. So that's a problem that needs to get fixed immediately. And without
Right.
their MVP leader, I think the rest of the team is kind of disheartened. And Harbaugh, as we mentioned, does not
Oh,
have the requisite ability to turn that ship around as far as being a master motivator because we were pointing at him in the first place as the guy
yes,
who
we
might have
did.
been spreading the funk around in the first place. Like for example, like Derrick Henry today, you got a real question: are you going to run him? If you have him on your fantasy team and you took him in like the third round, are you playing him today? Right? Like,
Might have to bench him, and it's a crazy thing to think about because he's a Hall of Famer. But you might have to bench Derrick Damn Henry. By the way, shout out to Hollywood Hogan, came straight from the dead. He's in the chat. I mean, he said
all right,
Eagles.
Hollywood, great handle.
Yeah, yes, sir. He says Eagles have 427 million in void year debt. It was all cute until you got injuries. And that's something maybe didn't talk about a lot. There were some injuries to that Eagles team, specifically Jalen Carter, and it showed in the way that the
Yeah.
D line was playing. And I think just the defense of the Eagles, they were definitely not the same
We
defense that was
we
dominant last
expected
season.
elite level defense. We expected
Right.
elite level defense. I played Philly's defense Thursday night. I
Mm,
hate Thursday night games, right? But Philly
yeah.
defense going against the Giants division game. Weren't they at home too, Philly? Like everything
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I think they were actually the
they
Giant
were in New
Stadium,
York.
MetLife. They
Anyways,
don't need it. Yeah.
regardless, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's no bigs for them. It's just up I-95. They're used to it. They do it, once every year, every year, every year.
Right. Right.
So, I wasn't intimidated, right? 6.5 points. I'm
Mm.
like, yeah. I think because I thought Philly was going to cruise. I thought for sure win by 10
Oh,
points.
everybody thought that. Yeah, you're not wrong. Everybody and their mom thought that. I bet
I
Giants
I
fans thought that.
like the reason that you actually spend a draft pick rather than just stream defenses. Most people just stream a defense in fantasy. The reason that you
Right.
waste a draft pick on a team like say Denver or Philly in the
Mm.
preseason is because you're expecting elite level defense, a floor, a minimum of 5 points a week, hopefully 10. Right? Because
Right.
because of
Right.
all the picks, all the turnovers, just a very proactive, aggressive defense. That's what we were expecting. Elite level defense from Philly this year, and we are not seeing it.
We're not seeing it. A lot of teams putting up big points on them, specifically fantasy points, man. And you know what? That brings us to one of my favorite sections. Our fantasy starts and sits, man. You know what I mean? What do we have in terms of our starts and sits? I think really surprising. Obviously, the Eagles defense. You got to start sitting them boys, man, because they are not giving what they have to give. The Vikings defense is a defense I think is not that good. You have to sit it.
Mm,
Derrick Henry, you have to start sitting him. AJ Brown, you're seeing him on your screen. Until AJ gets traded to a new team, he's a sit and trade
yeah,
asset, bro. You know what I mean? That's just a fact. But
yeah.
I think personally the Bengals players are very viable. Unc, what are your fantasy football starts and sits, my man?
Well, yeah. I was gonna say, like, I
Mm.
would feel a bit more confident about my Bengals today,
Oh
going because I think they're
yes.
going up to Green Bay,
Mm.
getting out of town, and I have a feeling that the Flacco factor will be in effect today. So that's something to look out. But Omari and Hampton, like I said, is out. Jefferson is on bye, so look out for that. Nico Collins also on bye. Chuba Hubbard out. Ricky Pearsall out. Brock Purdy
Mm.
out. Bowers
Oh,
out.
damn,
Yeah. So
damn.
excuse me. Sorry. And of course, Lamar
Mm.
Jackson's out.
You're right.
But starts I do like for example, if you do have Lamar Jackson out, I think Michael Penix and therefore Drake London look good. That
Yes.
game against, I think it's a Sunday night game against Buffalo. It's an island
Mm.
game, and they're at home. And if we get the Michael Penix that showed up last week rather than the Michael Penix that inexplicably lost to the Panthers,
Right.
we see how explosive the Atlanta offense can be if that version shows up. So
Mm.
we're just gonna assume that that version shows up, that the guy they drafted is playing quarterback. And if that's the case, probably Kyle Pitts, who's quietly been actually meeting expectations this year rather than becoming a meme or a joke in fantasy land. So the other guys I like, if you're looking for a quarterback in games I like, is Caleb. The Caleb Odunze connection is very real. I think
Yes,
that's
sir.
going to be a game with good points. Um,
Mm.
Bill Merritt. Bill Merritt has finally shown up as to be the running back that we all kind of thought he would be, despite being a seventh round Mr. Irrelevant kind of draft pick.
Mm.
He's slowly taken over that three-headed backfield in DC that people were
Mm.
afraid to play Bill McCroskey Merritt because of that. Well, he's kind of put a
Mm.
stranglehold on that, and he looks like the main go-to guy there.
Mm.
In San Francisco, like I mentioned, Purdy is out and Ricky Pearsall is out. Juwan Jennings is questionable to play. Um,
Mm.
so we're looking at guys named Kendrick Bourne. We're looking at Tonges, who has very quietly
Yeah.
put together double-digit fantasy points, like in the teens, 12, 11, 12, 13 points in 2 out of the 3 last weeks. So that's
Mm.
again, we talked about the system in San Francisco that keeps churning out serviceable players in the roles.
Yeah.
They've just been reloading, right?
Mm.
So that's something to watch if you're looking for replacements for those guys. Joe Flacco to Cincinnati. That's, like I said, that's something to watch today. The
Yeah.
Chargers running back with Omari and Hampton now out. Who takes it over?
Mm.
We mentioned Hakeem Haskins last time, and he looks to have the
Mm.
inside track. There's another guy named Vidal. Like both of these guys have been nowhere.
Mm,
Simply, they haven't been part of this backfield this year or last, but they may
mm,
suddenly be getting a lot of volume. So if you've got injuries at the position, these are names that might help you out because it is a run-friendly system for the LA Chargers.
right,
Um,
right,
Only Houston and Minnesota are on bye weeks, so that's something to keep in mind. We're not too
mm,
stressed out with buys this week.
right,
Now, one of the strategies we talk about in fantasy is to target players playing in matchups that look like there's going to be a ton of points scored. So for this
correct.
week, that's the Dallas Panthers game. That's like
Mm,
Panthers might be more viable than you think today. Guys like Bryce Allen, Tyrell McMillan. And we saw what
right,
Rico Dowdle did last week, turning into like O.J. Simpson, 1973. Like, when was the last time we had a
right.
200-yard game, right? A 200-yard game is like the platinum standard for running backs, right? Where you just get
Yeah, that's
stronger in the
rare.
fourth. You just get stronger in the fourth quarter and you just abuse the defensive line. That's what we got
Right.
last week from Rico freaking Dowdle, right?
He snapped. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so that's a game where we could see a lot of fantasy points scored. I think the
Mm.
Seattle Jacksonville game is going to be great. We saw what Travis Hunter could do in that game last week. We
Oh,
forgot to
yes.
mention that when we were talking. That circus
Great
catch that
game,
he
but
did was incredibly athletic. Like he
oh,
just
yeah.
reached up and over the guy, plucked it, and went like, whoa, that was some. We
And
talk
he
about
played good. He played good defense against Xavier Worthy. He actually, even
yeah.
as a corner, he played really
So
well on Worthy. He
super
shut him down like
exciting,
yeah,
super
great play.
exciting, super
Yes,
exciting
sir.
player. Can you imagine if you like had an IDP league where you actually had like independent defensive players and he was going to both
Oh,
ways for you, right? Like wow. Um,
that'd be great.
so yeah, the Indy Arizona game is probably going to have a lot of points. San
Yes.
Francisco Tampa Bay is probably going to have a lot of points. Cincinnati Green Bay and Detroit at KC, man, like that might be. I talked about the Atlanta Bills game going to be a good island game. Detroit KC is going to be like, oh man, I'm really that might be the game of the week. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm anticipating Detroit really takes a whooping. I expect Detroit to take KC out to the woodshed. Um,
Oh, oh
yeah,
yes. Oh
yeah,
yes.
and so your Detroit players, I'm pretty sure, are going to do real well. um,
Mm-hmm.
so let's see now. Let's see now. Defense versus Cleveland. Let's see now. Steelers, Denver,
Mm-hmm.
LA Rams at Baltimore, New England at New Orleans, and Las Vegas versus Tennessee. Those all look like defenses that might do very well. Defensive special teams that might do very well in fantasy today, just because of the matchups. Right. I
Right.
expect Cleveland and the Steelers to be a real snoozer. Like both of those
Oh
defenses
yeah.
are probably viable. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
expect both. I expect that to be a 17-13 game or something like that. Like it's
Yeah.
so that's
Quiet is kept, by the way. The Steelers defense is fantastic so far. They've
they
been one of
have
the best
been
units.
they have
Huge
been
on takeaways.
overperforming
Start them.
and
Start them. Yeah.
Steelers in general have been overperforming this year in a bad
At three and
division,
one.
right? Like
Yeah, they're
I just
playing good.
I hope the
Yeah.
fun continues today, right? um,
Yes, sir.
so yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Nice, nice, nice. Hey man, I'm telling you, man, my quick hitter advice. Pay attention to your bye weeks. If you have Justin Jefferson, you already know you have to get another receiver in there. Any
Yeah,
trades you make, you have to project into the future based on injuries and bye weeks. These things matter now. We're getting to the almost the middle point. So
yeah,
players who have been consistent are probably going to stay consistent. But if you have players who have been disappointing you, hey man, it's time to let them go. It's time to trade them. It's time
yeah,
to maybe even drop them. But if you see trajectories, if you see the Jags are consistent, the Colts are consistent, the Detroit Lions, those are the people and the teams you stick on
yeah,
to. You see teams slipping like the Chargers, you see teams like the Eagles slipping, you got to pull out, bro. You got to start pulling out.
yeah,
That's just my
yeah.
advice
Like
in
for
that sense.
example, a good example is Indianapolis, right? Like if you have bye
Right.
weeks and you need to you need to fill in, right? Like India's already had their bye week, right? And they've got three
Mhm.
wide receivers who may hit a home run for you in any given game, right? Like Pierce,
Facts.
what's his name? Pierce and Pittman, and there's a third guy
Pittman.
in there, and they're
Yeah,
all potentially double-digit receivers every week, just simply because they're
every week.
putting out that type of offense in Indianapolis. So yeah,
And I forgot to mention one guy. If you're starting, actually two guys, Baker Mayfield and goddamn Dak Prescott might win you a lot of matchups because those are basically the two MVPs right now, playing absolutely
hey,
great football, and you would not expect it. But I'm gonna give Dak his credit. You are the
yeah.
highest paid, and he's playing exactly like it. They're gonna
Well,
win a lot of
Dak,
games.
let
Just
me tell you. And if you look
yeah,
at the historical record, right? Like his first 4 or 5 seasons when he was a rookie, of course, he was super consistent, right? Young guy, all that type of thing. But if you look at him
right.
from 2019, it's basically every other year that he played like old Dak, right? But
Oh
on
shit.
even years, 2020, 2022,
Mhm.
2024, he gets injured or something goes wrong. And it's
Yeah.
frustrating, Dak. But in the odd number years, of which this is one, 2025,
25.
he's
Yeah.
he's the guy who gets you 35 touchdowns and
Oh
and
shit.
5 picks or 6 picks, right? Like he's really, really
Wow.
and 4,500 passing yards. He's good in odd number years since 2019, and he's playing
Wow.
like it. He's playing like it this year.
This is why you have Unc on the show, because Unc be pulling out these stats that you never would have expected, bruh. That's genius. I might have to research that. But hey, I'm telling you, Dak is winning a lot of matchups for people, bro. He is
Listen,
fantasy
and
gold.
he's actually well, I think he's the third overall. By some metrics, I think he's third overall. In others, yeah, no, I think he's third overall. Yeah, no, it was Daniel Jones I
Right.
was looking at also. He's number 8 overall, right? You think Daniel
Right.
Jones is we were talking about that offense, right? But still, Daniel
Yeah.
Jones being the number 8, it makes him a quarterback 1. But Dak Prescott is one of the top 3 QBs in the league right now.
Yeah,
And
I know.
I didn't
Crazy.
see it. I didn't see it coming until I was staring at my phone, looking at the career record. I'm like, I saw the pattern. I'm like, oh shit. Well, there it is.
Well, let me tell you something that Unc has is pattern recognition to these lines and spreads, bruh. You know what I mean? Let us know, man. What are 3 games you want us degenerates to put our money on, man? Because I'm a degenerate. I'm putting my money up, bro. I don't care.
Yeah. I got a couple that interest me here.
Yeah,
And I guess we'll go
yeah.
through them quickly because we're a little time dependent today. But I really
Okay.
like the Seattle at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a 1 point
Mm,
favorite, and it's the
right.
1 p.m. window. I've mentioned it
Mm,
before. It's not golden, but quite often a team like Seattle doesn't necessarily travel well. But again, that was proved wrong last week when Tampa Bay went up there and actually got it done. And I
right.
predicted that they might stumble, but in fact, the opposite happened. But Seattle's
Mm,
going to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is like 4-1 against the spread. Seattle's 3-2, right? So they're not quite as clean. I just like
right.
Jacksonville at home in the 1 p.m. window with the 1 point spread to cover. All we're talking about here is a Jacksonville win. And from
Right.
what we've seen from Jacksonville recently, that doesn't look out of line at all.
No, I
Um,
agree. I agree.
I've got Detroit. Detroit is actually an underdog in KC. And we
Oh,
know that makes no sense except for the fact of, the bias. Um, KC, right? So
wow.
I'm all over that game, and I'm all over that game, and I'll tell you why.
Right.
KC averages about 25 points a game. They allow 21 and a half points a game, respectable, but
Mm,
not a big margin in there. Whereas Detroit's a juggernaut. Detroit's scoring 35 points a game and only
mm,
allowing 1 point more per game than is KC. They only allow 22
mm.
points plus per game, right? So, like, I see Detroit whooping up on KC today. I think they win big at Arrowhead. Yeah, I do. So that to me seems
Oh,
like easy money, and that's the Sunday PM game too. And I just
oh,
feel like with Dan Campbell, I feel like that team has the personality of Dan Campbell. And I think they're
yeah.
going to relish the opportunity to whoop up on a team like KC with their reputation on national television in an island
Mm,
game. I think Dan
Mm.
Campbell wants that win in a big way. And I think he
Mm.
wants to be emphatic about it. So I'm all in on Detroit, who are also four
Nice.
and one against the spread this year. And of course, KC 2-3 against the spread. Another
Mm.
one I like. Another one I like is the Cincinnati game against Green Bay. It's a big point spread. And I
Oh
think with
yeah.
the Flacco
Same.
factor, that's the only real reason. Green Bay should win that game in a walk, but is it that
Right.
big of a walk? We'll see. Um,
Mm.
Now, and then again, the other one I mentioned is I kind of like Atlanta. Atlanta is an underdog at home versus the Bills, and
Mm.
the Bills have been susceptible to the run, and my
Yes.
goodness, can Atlanta run the ball? So
Oh
I
yeah.
just think that one seems like easy money too. Also, an island game, right? Like that is going to be
Mhm.
a chance for Atlanta to, at home. It feels right. And the Bills have
Yeah.
not been super spectacular. They've been solid, but they're not blowing away point spreads at all.
That's a team that, ironically, it's gonna sound crazy, but they fell out of my top five, and that's what we're gonna talk about. Our top five teams going into this week six. And like I told y'all, our lists are very fluid, man, because we
Yes,
gotta go by
very
what we
fluid.
saw. It's what have you done for me lately, bruh?
What'd you do
What have
last
you
week?
what did you do last week? Did you show me something that would make me think week six you are a top five team? And hey, recency bias, we have it. I'm sorry.
Oh
We
yeah,
just gotta
yeah,
give it to you. Gotta give it to you raw, rugged, and real, Unk. I'm gonna start off with my list. I'm gonna go 5-1.
right
We're a bit
on.
tight on time, but we do this for y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all smash the like button, man. We give our time as long as y'all hit the like button, share, subscribe. That's all we need from y'all. Appreciate y'all. Gang, gang. Number five. And this is a team that I've been hesitant to put in the top five list, but I can't ignore them anymore. They
Right.
deserve it. The Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are number five on my list. That win versus a great Seattle defense. And without a doubt, it's between Dak and Baker for MVP. It's a bit early to talk MVP. We'll
Yeah, it
we'll
is.
chat about that in a bit. But
Especially
in
this
the first,
season.
yeah, it's a weird season, my man.
It
And
is.
the
It's
Buck,
variable.
it's weird. Like the NFC is actually stronger than the AFC, which is weird. We haven't seen that in a while. But I got to give my love and respect to the Bucks. They find ways to win, and that is commendable. Number four for me. Number four, I got the Jags. I could not ignore them anymore either. They had to come up. You're 4-1. You're plus
Yeah,
minus plus 27 in the point differential. You know what I mean? Of course, the
yeah,
points before they're not doing that great for, but guess what? Hey man, they're winning games. They're winning games, and that's why they are number three in my book. I got Colts number four. I got Colts as number three. Now this is debatable, but I still like the Colts. I think they could be. It depends on people's list, but for me, I have them number three because the two other teams I have are, I think, superior based off what they've done this season. I got the Niners at number two, and I brought the Niners up heavily because they have been able to beat great teams such as the Rams. The Rams are a fantastic team in my eyes,
yes.
and they're
That was a
skating
quality
away
win.
even with, yeah, quality win. And on top of that, the Niners, they have so many injuries. People are going to come back. So there's a chance they're going to get even better. So going into this
That's
week,
right.
I'm pushing them. And my number one team, yes, it's Detroit. Detroit, for the points they're putting up, for the effort that they're putting up, and for what they're about to do to the Chiefs. Because I'm lock and step with you. They are going to whoop on the Chiefs in
Yeah,
national TV. Now, it could go the other way where we're wrong as hell, but if everything trends to what we've been seeing, they're going
yeah.
to be 5-1, and they're going to be far and out the best team out of this weekend. Unc, what's your top five list? How's it looking?
That's
Mm,
similarities and differences, but you're right. This is such a
yeah,
fluid and variable thing, right? Yeah,
yeah,
recency bias fuels this power top five. Um,
absolutely. No.
So yeah, my starting at number five, I kind of had like
Mm,
five A and B. Like I was really trying to show I was really trying to look at the Bucks and the 49ers, which one, right? Because they
Right.
have very, very similar resumes and profiles to this point. And the only real difference is the one common opponent they've had, which is Seattle. And the Niners
Correct.
beat Seattle, and the Bucks did not. So I
Mm.
squeezed the Bucks out of the top five, even though like
Okay.
they've been so much fun to watch this year.
Yes.
Um, but number four, we have the same one. I've got the Jags with their plus 27. Yep.
Mm.
And for all the reasons that we discussed earlier, right? And I
Yes, sir.
still have the Bills in there because 4-1 talks, right? Like all of my teams, I
Right.
think they're all 4-1 here now. And the
Mm.
Bills are still, plus 40, for and against. So it's not nothing, right? They're still winning by a touchdown or so per game.
Right.
And I've got the Lions at number two and
Mm.
Indianapolis at number one, just based on the points for, points against. It's
Yeah.
about a field goal. The Indianapolis is actually about a field goal per game better offensively than the Lions are. But
Mm.
like the Lions, I've started to question this. Maybe the Lions should be the number one because I was about to say there is only one team in the NFL this year that you look at them and you go, I know they're going to win this week, and I can't wait to see them put up
Yeah.
40. I can't wait to
Yeah.
see them put up 40, and these are the guys I think are going to do it, right? Like, there's only one team like that where they have so
Yeah.
many guys week to week who can put up great numbers. They fuel your fantasy team. If you're a Detroit truther, if you're a homer, right? It's the first time in like God knows how long where you get to every Sunday morning you wake up going like, who are we going to beat today? Right?
Yeah.
Like there's only one team this year that's really dominant like that, that's really exciting, that can kick your ass on defense, and that's Detroit, man. So yeah, let them be my number one and Indianapolis number two. But yeah, like that's the way I'm looking at it.
Both teams. By the way, you can even stick to the Colts because the Colts are similar in manner because they're gonna whoop on a team. You're gonna have
They
to
are.
really bring it to the Colts in order to beat them. So Colts or Detroit, those are really good teams. I just really I saw something in the Bills that they maybe I can put them as honorable mention on the side.
Right?
The Bills are really I don't know. I don't it's just something about them gives me a little because think
I'll
about it like
tell
this.
you
They
why.
lost to the they
It's
lost to New England recently, right? Isn't that the
yeah,
first team they lost to, right?
no, it's the running game. That's why you doubt the Bills. The Bills look
Right.
shaky because they're almost dead last in giving up yards on the run, and that's not what you
Mhm.
expect out of a top five team in any metric. So yeah,
Right.
that's why I'm saying that this game against Atlanta, like I can't wait to see Bijan and Tyler Algier
Mm.
fucking like go crazy on that run defense, right? Because Tyler Algier almost has standalone value by himself, and
Oh
then you
yeah.
put Bijan on top of it, right? Like I'm expecting Atlanta to do some work tonight.
And it's a Monday night game if I'm
It's a
not
Monday
mistaken.
night. Pardon me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So that's the next thing, right? It's a Monday night game, and I'm pretty sure Atlanta's up for it.
By the way, to all of our Canadian viewers, happy Thanksgiving
That's
tomorrow.
right.
Thankful for my boy, my big uncle right here. Thankful for everybody who watches either live or the replay, or anybody who's been supporting us from day one. Thankful. Shout out to the Native
Yes,
Americans. We got to show love to them. You know what I mean? This is their land. It is what it is, but we at least had to show some thankfulness for not only life, but for everything and for everybody. So I hope
that's
y'all
it.
are grabbing that turkey tomorrow, that gravy, that pumpkin pie. You know what I'm saying? All of that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, for sure. I mean, we're grateful for so many things in this country, not the least of which is football, for friendship, for
Mhm.
family, all these different types of things. But yeah, not the least of which is right. You're very right. The heritage in this country. I mean, if we're gonna live it, at least give it up and say like, yo, right?
Yeah.
One of the things we're thankful for is the land on which we live, which has graciously and it's a whole
Yeah.
different conversation. But
We gotta keep
we've
it up.
worked it out over hundreds of years, and we got a long way to go. But you know what? Let that always be something we're grateful for because we got two oceans
Yeah.
on our side, and we mostly live in peace. So yo,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
not nothing. It's not nothing.
That's a fact, man. As we head out, y'all smash that like button. Shout out to Hollywood Hogan who came from the dead. and
Yeah,
pulled up
man.
on us with some Eagles commentary. Everybody who showed love. We appreciate y'all more than you know. It's been Unk and Fuel. Let's watch these games. Week 6.
Yeah, man. Let's go get it.
Dose.
Right on, man.